Welcome to the Matrix 360 CMA. The 360 CMA means that in addition to properties that have sold within MLS, Matrix will reach into the public records and find properties that have recently sold that have not been in MLS, hence the name 360. It will wrap all of these comps together in one CMA. So I'm going to access Matrix from my single sign-in. Note, I don't keep my usernames and passwords logged into my browser. Now, the property that I'm comping is not listed. So we still have access to the details about the property in Matrix Tax. A lot of you are still calling it TaxStar. We know what you mean. However, it hasn't been TaxStar in quite some time. So you would put the street number and the street name. Now, if it were a common street, you could check county, but in all my examples that I have been using, I have never had to check county, city, town, zip code, or you could, if you wanted to, use the parcel number. Each individual property has a parcel number. So from the public record, street number, street name, and then I go to results. Now, when you do go to results, you can see who the owners are, when did they buy it, what they paid for it, and the previous owner. Okay. So this information is on the single line. When I click on the parcel number, it will take me to the details of the property. Is it owned in a corporation? Does a trust own it? Name of the subdivision. An AVM, automated valuation model. If you are new in real estate, Google AVM. Every company has their own AVMs, automated valuation models. Zillow has one, Redfin has one, CoreLogic has one, and they are proprietary to that company. Now, I suppose if you have your statistics degree in college, that you could read these and understand them. These are the current taxes for this property. And as I come through, I'll see the features about the property, including, does it have a pool? Yes. How big is the garage? Is there fireplaces? And if there are any special features, they'll show under the building features. So you want to look at this so that you'll know the property you're comping, especially if you have not been there. Now, at the top of the screen, there is an option for view comparable properties. And when I click that, it's going to take the 20 closest comps automatically. All right. Now, when it does that, it brings them onto your screen and tells you how far they are from the subject property. Now, we're comping a property that's already under contract. Okay. It brings in, for the subject property, it brings in the bedrooms and the bathrooms and the living area. And you can compare that subject with all the comps. Now, the reason why I'm using this as an example, as I look at the status, well, first of all, a little bit of Windows 101, I can click on a column heading and sort by that column. This particular property has something that's sold outside of MLS. So that lets me know that there's a property nearby and they didn't use a realtor. Now, I go through and I take a look at these, and these may be, and I also look at the summary. The summary may have too much of a low and too much of a high. The average is 26. It looks like the subject property is 33 square foot living area. Now, I can rearrange these columns by dragging them by the head. Okay, and I move that to where I can see it. on my screen. This property is single family. I want to compare it only with single families. You might find when doing this, sometimes townhouses come back for single families or vice versa. Or for condos, single family come in. You'd like to keep them the same property type. So this non-MLS sale that happened just last month has 25 square footage. Now I'm going to look through these and maybe decide to eliminate some. I have some buttons on the bottom, and for example, the withdrawn. Withdrawn may mean that the property was overpriced to begin with, but this means that the listing agent took it off the market. Okay, 23. I have a few that are outside of the range that I would use for my comps. So I'm going to check the ones that I don't want. And that's also why I put square footage so close. So that I could, where did I put, oh there, right there. That's, yeah, so I can see it as I'm deciding whether I want to include it in my summary or not. 31, we'll take out 23, we'll take out 2390, yeah, we'll take that one out too, 23. So take the ones out that don't come near the subject property square footage. And some of them are way below, so I'll remove those as well, even if they're a good comp. I hate to do that if it's a good comp, but sold 29. Now, no, I'll keep that one. Sold 22, 26 I'll keep, 23. So basically just going through and looking at the square footage at the same time I look at the status and remove the ones I don't want. By the way, you're always prompted when you go to delete stuff or remove stuff, you are always prompted, are you sure? Look at that. Take a breath and make sure you are. Okay? So those will be removed. And if I have any other comps I would like to get, I could go down to where it says find more comparables. Let me take out a few more because I have some that are the 2,300 square feet and I don't want to include those. If you want to, you can compare this with your old method of doing CMAs, but frankly, I found that a lot of agents, every agent has a different method of calculating comps. Some use the map and go 1 mile within the radius. Others use the subdivision. Others draw shapes on the map. So everybody's got a different method. For as many realtors as we have, there are that many methods to get comps. Now, if I happen to know of a sale that I don't see here, and by the way, I found it really handy to sort by address as I'm going into that particular method. I'll sort by square footage to find the closest square footage to the subject. I'll sort by status. So I use the sort on the fly to narrow down on the screen. So I want to find a sold listing and I happen to know that there is one. It might have, and I know it because it came up through my doing searching or when I listed this property. And it could be something as simple as it has the wrong square footage, I'm sorry, wrong zip code. Subdivision is Los Prados. So I am speaking to the veteran agents here by doing it this way. The newer agents may not do this, okay? So when I go to results here, I should pull up one sold property that wasn't included in that summary. It's not even on this screen because the street name is Lockmore. And there it is. It's 1 mile from the subject. Now, why didn't it pull it up? I don't know, but I'm going to add that into the selection. So now I have Lockmore on my list. All right. Once I have the properties I like, that for my comps, I hit View Report. Your heading, please make sure your heading has all of your current information. And this is a good number of solds. I have 4 solds, 1 non-MLS. And what you'll find right now, at this current time on March 5th, 2021, there are not active listings. Almost every comp I do now does not have active listings. And here is my subject property. And here are my comps. And the beauty of this particular one for this is a perfect example. This is a PDF it launched me into. So once I clicked on View Report, it launched me into a PDF. And my PDF is only 2 pages. So if I'm savvy enough with my printer to print this on one side and this on the other, I got a 1-page report that I can hand to my customers. If I want to put it on my computer, I have the arrow there, and it will let me save it on my computer. I always put dates on the things I save. I save a lot. I end up becoming a historian for folks because they know I save everything. So decades later they go, "Do you have that?" Now I still have my tab open for my quick CMA. I have a Create CMA that will launch me into the entire CMA book presentation. It makes a sound, it makes a thud when it hits the kitchen table. So only if you know that you want a lot of pages will you do that. Thank you for joining me for the Matrix 360 Quick CMA.